Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all safe and well. I am on, haven't been on for ages, sorry about that. Well, not to do any crafting anyway, but I am on because it's getting near the end of the month and I have all the group challenges to do. So I thought tonight I will start with the mixed media. I thought I might put two challenges together just so I can tick them off quicker. So I'm going to do the mixed media and I'm also going to do the some artist trading cards or ATCs. So the mixed media is hosted by Crafty Dork, Jeanette, who's in our group, and the ATCs, the challenge for the ATCs has been hosted by the lovely Sel from the Purple Outhouse. So this one is going to be fun. So for the mixed media, we have our 10 prompts. So this time I have to use white tissue paper, 2 stencils, the colour purple, jelly print or something painted, handmade stamp, scrape gesso over paint, cardboard, brayer, add shadows, and oil pastels or similar. And then I can swap any two of them out for whatever I want if I want to. So let's get to it. I have this book which you pretty well see every time. I always use this paper just because it was really cheap and I'm still learning, so I don't use any special paper or anything. So what I'm going to do is do my mixed media on here and then turn it into the ATCs. I'm going to cheat, but that's all right. So I'm going to start with some jelly printing, I reckon. Now we had to use a brayer as well, so I've got a brayer. So I'm going to start with that and the colour purple. So I have some purple acrylic here. I think that's what I wanted to do. So I might just cut the rough edge off of the paper first. So I've got this gel plate here. It's a nice big one. I got this from Auntie Vera Scrap and Craft. So if you're needing one, go and check out her store. I'll link it below. Really handy. I did have a smaller one, but I loved it so much, so I thought that's it, got to get a bigger one. Whoops, I just cracked the container because I'm so careful not. Now I'll just take it out of here. This time I'll take the acetate off the top. I think the last time I used it, I was using it and I thought it wasn't turning out how I expected, and then I realised I'd left the acetate on the top. I think I just want to get a base layer on firstly. So I will use my purple acrylic. And I'll just put a little bit down. Now I also, it's coming out everywhere. I also have some bits and pieces here that I thought I'd just keep out to soak up any extra bits of paint that I want to. So I've got some old book page, some of these sort of index papers, and just some receipt paper. So I thought I can colour them up a bit if I want to. Might just put some book page on the side to clean my brayer off with, maybe. Maybe even some of this receipt paper. So I'm going to use my brayer just to spread this out a bit. That's looking pretty good. I have to see if this circle that I'm seeing on here, there's a few of them show up on my paper. So I'm not sure what's caused that. Alright, so I don't know if you can see, but I'm just rolling my brayer off on the receipt and the book page. Just clear some of that colour off. That looks nice. Be able to rip that up and use it in collaging. So my paper, so yeah, I just get this base coat down. Oh, that's beautiful. So I'll just put this to the side. I'll organise what we want to do next, which I think is, we've got to use 2 stencils. So I thought we'll use 1 stencil on the gel plate. So I've got this big Kaisercraft stencil, floral lace. I thought that looks nice, so I might use some of that. So what I might do is use an amethyst through the stencil. So again, I'll just put a bit of it down. Nice colour. That will do. And again, I might use one of my little index cards for this one. I'm just going to go over this index card with my brayer just to clean off some of that paint. Looks really nice, so I'll let that dry as well. End up with stuff everywhere. These can go down on some paper I've got on the floor. All right, now just don't know why it's doing that weird effect. I haven't played with it enough to know what goes on. All right, so we want to get our stencil onto that. Hopefully we've got enough paint on there. It looks like it's going to be blotchy, but that doesn't matter. It should still be a nice effect anyway. So I'll just put this down like so, and then we'll grab our purple piece and put it on top and hope it works. So I'll give it a good press. I'll take this off. That didn't really work, did it? I can see it faintly, but not very much. A little bit. Maybe we'll try to take that off. Let's put it on here and see what happens. I think it might pick up a bit more like this. Paint might have dried quite quickly. So I do have the heater going. I can see it again. It might actually, I can see it a fair bit on there. I reckon the colour's just a bit too close. That's all right. Maybe we've got purple, so we don't have to do purplish colour again. So we might do, I've got some green here. We might try that. But what I'm going to do first is just clean off my brayer a bit. And then I've got the stencil that has pattern on it, so I'm going to clean off some of that paint. Although it might have dried too much for this. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's pretty dry by the looks of things. I'm gonna have to wash that after. So what we'll do is get some of the green down, I think. We'll definitely be able to see that. Might get a nice lot of it on there. Probably should switch my heater off and I'd have a bit more luck. get the stencil straight on there. And get a purple piece straight on there. Let's see if we have a bit more luck with this. You can tell I'm not an expert jelly printer. Alright, let's have a look and see what we've got now. Oh, I can see something through there. It's a good start. That's a bit better. I think once it's dry we might see it a little bit more. Let's take that off. Put that down. Oh, actually, what I might do is maybe we'll put this on top and see what we get. Just lifting more of that up now. That's a bit better. That's quite a nice background. Okay, so piece is pretty dry now, and we have done one stencil. We've done purple. We've done jelly print. We've done brayer. So next I think I want to do the white tissue paper, I think. Got to do scrape gesso as well, but I think I'll do the white tissue paper first. So I've just got some of the backing of a napkin here. I thought would be good to use some of that up. I was debating whether to create texture with it or not, but I think I'm just going to stick it on there just because that's what we have to do. So I'm going to do some of that. It's hard to know how see-through it will be, but I thought I'll do it now before I do some more stenciling and that way I can cover over it a bit if I need to. So I've got some matte deco glue. I think this was compliments of the lovely Wendy Mason. She loves this stuff, and so she was kind enough to send me some. And it's a nice cheap alternative to go to when you're doing your mixed medias. So I'm going to use some of that, I think. So thank you, Wendy. My brush is a bit brittle, so we'll see how we go. But I might just stick some little bits around the place. So I'm just going to put it on and then go over it again. And that way it makes it slightly opaque so we can see some of the colour through maybe. All right, that'll do for that. Dried off pretty well my tissue paper. Some bits have come up a lot whiter again now that it's dry, but that's okay because we are going to put a few bits and pieces over the top. So now I want to do the, what is it? Scrape gesso over paint, and I don't think I want the gesso to be completely white. So what I might do is add some of this amethyst to my gesso to scrape on. Now what I've got is this little old Video Easy membership card. I thought I'll use a little card to do the scraping with. I've got bigger business cards and that, but this nice little one. We don't have Video Easy anymore. Back in the old days when we had video cassettes, if anyone can remember them. It's a bit like that these days, isn't it? So Just cleaning off my palette knife onto my book page. Then I can use it for collaging or a background page. Okay, so let's try this scraping stuff. I'm just getting a little bit in and just scraping it over like that. Oh, I like that effect. I don't want too much. That's a bit better. All right, so I think that'll do. So the next thing I think I will do is we have to use a handmade stamp, and we also need to use cardboard. So I've actually got just this cardboard tube, and I'm going to use that to stamp with because that's how lazy I am. So I'm going to cross those things out now. Handmade stamp, cardboard, and I think I'll use some of this. It's green grey, so I'll try some of that. I did use it for the gel print, but it's very, very faint. So I think maybe we'll do some circles with that around the place and bring that colour out a little bit more. Just a bit of contrast to all the purple I'm using. Right, now, I think I'll grab something to stamp off onto first. I think I'll use this just to see how it works. So definitely going to have to spread it out a bit. Let's have a look here. Oh yeah, that works all right. It's not very even. Probably do need a thicker coat. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. We're going to go with it anyway. So I'll get a fair bit on. A few more because we are going to cut it down. All right, so that's our handmade stamp. What I might do is just use some of the rest too. So I do need to use another stencil. So I've grabbed this Kaiser Craft stencil out. I also grabbed my Kaiser Craft Mists Lavender Iridescent Spray. Now I did practice with some paper and I really like it. It's quite watery though. I'm thinking of maybe trying it, spraying some in here and just using my sponge to stencil it on. I think I will, that will be easier for me to get it where I want it because I don't want it over the whole page and I don't want to have to worry about masking bits and pieces off either. So I think we will give that a go. So what I'll try and do, give it a good shake. And I'm just going to spray some in here. That should be heaps. It gets everywhere too. I'm creating a nice mess for myself as usual. All right, so let's see about getting some bits and pieces of that on here. Hopefully it works all right. So it is quite watery stuff, it's weird. Let's see how that's, yeah, it's working. Well, that's not too bad. I quite like that. Subtle and not as wet. Like that first one's quite wet, but these are a lot more subtle, which is nice. So I'll continue with that. So we've done the 2 stencils now. So we've scraped gesso over the paint as well. So that just leaves us with add shadows and oil pastels or similar. What I think I will do at this point is back my page onto some cardboard. So I have this, it's just the back of a cereal package. So because I want to make these into ATCs, I want them to be a bit sturdier. So I'm going to glue them onto there, and then we can cut them into our ATC sizes before we go any further. So I might try using this deco glue again for this. Try and figure out which brush I want to use. I might actually use my foam brush for this. Get a liberal coat over there. So we want to make sure we get it right to the edges. Oop. Slip sliding away. Famous words of Paul Simon, I think it was. I think that'll do. So let us put this on. I might just grab my roller out if I can find it before it all dries. Press it down nicely. So I'm just going to trim around the edges so I can see where the edges are when I go to cut it down to size. Might keep these strips because they're quite nice. These little ones can go in the bin. Trying to make sure that all these edge bits are adhered really well. That looks pretty cool now. All right, so ATCs are usually 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, I'm pretty sure. So that's the size that we want to cut these down to. So I've got this little mini guillotine thing here. Every time I cut with it, I cut really crooked. But I'm determined to give it a go. I bought it, so I want to use it. It does have inches up here, so hopefully that will help. So let us go. We want to go 2.5. I hope that's right. That's what the measurements say anyway. I'll keep these pieces. No, they look alright. So now we cut them down to the 3.5. So I might go that way. Is that lifting up? I'll have to stick that down again. All right, so that's all of our ATCs cut now. So that made quite a few. I'll put that away. So we've ended up with all of these. I'm just going to put them together and see how bad I cut. They don't look too bad. I'm surprised. So they look really cool now, don't they? So quite happy with them. So what I think I might do is make an ATC to satisfy the challenge requirements. Then I might keep the rest as backgrounds for ATCs for projects that I want to do. So I quite like the look of that one. So I'm going to use that one. So we still have the add shadows and the oil pastels or similar. So instead of add shadows, I'm thinking I might add a focal image to it. And I like the idea of a stamped butterfly. I've grabbed my Kaiser Craft butterflies here and I've picked this big beautiful one there. I'm thinking I might actually go straight onto the ATC. I'm sure it's a bit crooked, but I will. Debating which way I want a butterfly. I'm just going to do a test stamp to make sure I'm inking it up all right. Over here. Yeah, that's beautiful. Might be a bit hard on here because of the surface, but we'll see how we go. If I ruin it, I've got my 7 other cards to put it onto. There we go. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I've just zoomed in so you can see a bit better. But what I've decided to do is my 2 swaps. So instead of add shadows, I'm going to add some words. And instead of, although did I swap something out to stamp my focal image? I did. I can also, oh no, you can't have 3 swaps. Doesn't matter. I'm going to, we had to use oil pastels or similar. So I don't have oil pastels. I'm going to use metallic marker and some gel pens. And I want to put a word on, which I can probably just do anyway, because why not? So it needs something more up here. So I've got embrace the journey there. So I think that will look quite nice. So what I will do is chop it up. So it's your Tim Holtz Small Talk, is it? Yeah, Small Talk. So just cut it down so it's neater. And I'll take a bit off the end of the journey. And then what I want to do is go around the outside of these with my metallic marker. I have to have steady fingers for this. Oh, bending him. Just put that there. That one there. What I can do is make this line a bit thicker by going around them now that they're on there as well. Yeah, that's a bit better. Should have just done this in the first place. That would have saved a bit of time. Now I've got this pen out, I want to go around the edge of my ATC as well. I don't think it'll show up very much. I can go over it a few times. It does finish it off nicely though. Whoop. Now a butterfly. I do have white. White is very bright though, but maybe we can put some white just in these little hole bits here. This is a white Signo pen that I get from the newsagents here. And I do have a black one as well. If I can find it. I might just do his body black. Oops. Going all wonky with his antennae. That's alright. Just want him to stand out a little bit more. And I did grab my gel pens. These are metallics. It might look nice with some metallic. Or I might completely ruin it too. What have we got? I've got a bit of a purple here. That is nice. That's more of a pink, but that would go quite nicely too. Let's just give them a little bit of colour here and there. That's quite pretty, isn't it? This one doesn't want to flow quite as nicely. I think that's pretty cool. Now, what I might also do is another little border. The metallic texture that I put on looks really cool. It's finished off the edges, but it doesn't show up very much, and I think it would look nice with just a little messy drawn gel pen border. Got to be careful not to smudge. So I'll let that dry, but I quite like that. That's turned out all right. So hopefully you saw that and it was on camera. But there is my ATC. Love the glistening metallic gel pens on that. So I hope that inspired you a little bit. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye.